you have a couple of really young kids.
I do.
And you're also a business owner, and your husband's a business owner. So
Yes.
What are kind of the awesome things and really hard things about having a young family as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Okay, let's start with the good stuff.
Cool.
So the good stuff is I have a lot of freedom with my schedule. I think that's maybe the biggest thing. My heart completely breaks for the women who have to go back to work after however many weeks and go back full time. I mean, by the time you drop your kid off at daycare or wherever you're taking your kid, get to work by 8 or 9 in the morning and then pick them up by 4 or 5. I mean, that's heartbreaking to me as a mom now. I mean, obviously I started OULA before I had kids, but now having kids, I'd say the thing that I appreciate the most is that I can bring my kids to work sometimes. I can work from home. I have the flexibility. I also think I have 3 girls, and I like to be able to show them that you can have it all in a way. You can follow your dreams. You can pursue your passion. You can own your business and have a family. You can, as a female, find that balance and be able to have meaning and purpose in your life in multiple ways. So I like setting that example for my daughters. It's really important to me, and I love them. I love bringing them to work and seeing all of the other women that I work with, and just watching them see a very communal space that I share with the women that I work with. So I hope that I'm teaching them that they can do this. You know, the things that are hard. I find that when I am working from home, it's very hard for me to try to be a good mom and be a good boss, be a good worker at the same time. So figuring out how to be able to fulfill their needs, fulfill OULA's needs, fulfill my employees' needs who are contacting me, messaging me, emailing me throughout the day. You know, it's hard to tell my kids, hold on, like I can't do that for you right now. And that's juggling it's hard. Yeah. So, trying to designate work times so I'm not doing, a mediocre job of everything at once. That's, I'd say, probably the most challenging thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you work with your partner to designate those times? Like, do you have that on a calendar somewhere that you share at home? Like, I'm thinking of all the other working moms, female founders out there who are probably struggling with the same thing. Yeah,
definitely. It's usually because also as a business owner, I feel like my schedule is so different week to week, as is my husband's, who is also a business owner. And so not only are we on a weekly schedule, but we're pretty much on a daily schedule. We have a 3-month-old who doesn't love a bottle, so I have to always be somewhat nearby. So it's always like, okay, I'll go to work at this time, and then you bring her to me, and then I'll relieve the babysitter at this time. It's pretty much, it's every night we say, okay, let's figure out how the next day is going to go. So it's to that level, at least with our kids, the ages that they are. Yeah.
It's challenging.
It is. I mean, I'm sure you.
I've
know.
been there.
It's challenging.
And it's hard too. Maybe you can talk a little bit about your balancing, like your relationship with your kids with work. Does that ever get tricky?
It does. It's funny. We on our weekly podcast, we just had Rob, my husband, as a guest, and we were talking about that. And I have to travel a lot for work. And so it was really cool because he was talking about, how he feels when the majority of parenting falls on him when I'm gone for work. And he made a really good point. He said, when we are doing these things that we're both not only passionate about, but we believe are giving back to our communities and when it's meaningful work, then it's easier to say, yes, I want to take on the bulk of the parenting for this week because I believe that while you're gone is more important than, you know, having you here for these few days. And also really focusing on the quality of time rather than the quantity of time. So it's been, you know, more and more and more important, especially as we keep having more of these kids, to be like, okay, we have to stay off our phones. We have to stay off our computers for these hours. We have to designate like these times that we just are not going to focus on anything else but being together as a family or as a couple. We've started to schedule every other week we do a date night. And I mean, as a business owner or just someone who has the type of job where there's things that you could be doing all the time, you know, it's very easy to just keep working all the time. I mean, you can lay in bed and work. I mean, we have done that many times.
There's always more.
There's always more.
Yeah.
There's always more. And so I think it's been really important for us lately to just create boundaries. Like boundaries. And it's cool because everything still works.
Right.
It all happens.
Yes.
You know, it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
and the world didn't collapse because I didn't get this done last night. Like, you know, just kind of realizing it's very important that we stay solid as a partnership so that the rest of all of this can still function.
Yeah. And you mentioned having to travel a lot for work. So we were wondering, how does that like global expansion of OULA look like? Like what does that entail, and what are you traveling for? Like, tell us about that.
So the way that OULA is set up as a business, we only have 2 studios that are owned by OULA. So the one in Missoula and the one in Bozeman. Everywhere else that offers OULA, it's because their instructors have a license agreement with OULA to teach our programs in the way that we've designed and intended, etc. So in order for OULA to grow and spread, it's basically because an individual has moved to a new city. So this is kind of the cool thing about OULA, is basically the reason that OULA has ever spread is because somebody was able to attend classes or maybe was an instructor, and then they said, I am moving and I cannot stand the thought of not having OULA in my life. That's hands down how OULA has grown. And so they'll say, well, I guess I have to teach it. And then they'll let's say move to Portland, Maine. We were just in Portland, Maine last month for training, and they'll move to Portland and they'll get their classes developed and started and growing, and then their community will have more and more interest, and so they'll say, hey, we'd love for you guys to come out to Portland for a training. We have enough interest, we have enough people, boom. And then that's basically the model of how OULA has grown. Really word of mouth. It's a very grassroots organization. I didn't have this like massive plan that I was going to execute from the beginning. It was very much one foot in front of the other, and then people just saying, I can't live without this, so I guess I will take it with me.
Hi, Cassie and Morgan here. Thanks for tuning in to Bossy. We're really excited and hope that you enjoyed the video that you saw. If so, subscribe to our channel. Also, we offer awesome retreats for women and female founders who are looking to expand and grow their business.
Also, thank you to our partners, C3 Work Lounge at Old Sawmill District. C3 Work Lounge is an entrepreneurial environment that allows creativity, connectivity, and collaboration.